All right, good morning, separate traders. Welcome on back here this Tuesday morning, August 23rd, shortly after 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Great to see Wendy, Grant, Nina. Great to see Leda and Norman and all of us inside the live trading room. Great to see all of us back on social media, Facebook Live, YouTube. You could hear me. You can't see me today. Need a little bit more coffee here, at least before I get going. But we had a really nice morning so far. It took a little while to get the gears going there, but a couple of trades moving right now. The AMC stock was, chugging along pretty nicely here. It's up over 3 to 4% close to. But with that, we ended up seeing the trade APE, and news that came out with APE was yesterday. It became listed across the New York Stock Exchange. It's basically an AMC breakoff. So now it's shaking back down. I ended up taking half my position out before we started this meeting, not just to take profit, but actually right off of 670 is a level that I ended up charting on this APE trade from my pre-market. So with that, no surprise, it's holding here for the meantime under 670, big volume level. For right now, though, we'll look to see if this can make a higher high. If not before the market opens, then certainly afterwards. So the APE trade's the more interesting of the two. Of course, AMC has been a meme stock and all of that. Well, hey, with APE being very newly listed, perhaps if the stars align, you can get a really nice initial squeeze up. And we ended up catching that, to be transparent, yesterday. Ended up pumping up early on, but then very shortly after, like 3 or 4 halts on the way up, it came crashing back down. Now, the level that you want to watch for today, should it pull back down a little bit lower, well, look for it to retest yesterday's closing print. That's like a 11 to 12 million share transaction, actually, that was found on the tape from the end of the day yesterday. So with saying that, should it pull back to 6, I would anticipate on that support to initially hold. And then from there, see if it can make the run back up. I was looking for at least 630 to test as support first. So that's where I'm currently in from. It's on a smaller position size. In full, it was a half size position for what I normally trade out of the stock or out of this price stock. So I took half of that out, and I still have half of my position left. So with saying that, the APE trade, I'm going to put on the main morning watch list in hopes of a nice run up. If not, hey, we'll find something else out there. There was the MRIN trade from this morning early. Unfortunately, that one pulled back a little bit, but early after 7 o'clock in the morning, that was making a pretty good push. With the AVYA stock teasing us a bit, we'll see if that could break over $1 and run. So there's a few things moving out there, folks. Let's go right from the top here to start. We have a couple of cheapies at the top of the list here between the QTNT trade and WINT. So I'm not going to be as particular about trading these types of stocks as often. But, WINT here ended up making a big pop just after 8 o'clock Eastern. What you want to see out of this trade is for it to test support, break under, but then right back over. And should you get that, that could be the beginning of a new slingshot on this trade. I'm not going to put this on the main list just yet. I want to see if there's anything just looking a lot sharper going up or more like above $1, something a little bit more tradable for us there. AERI. Now, I'm going to zoom out on this chart here for right now because yesterday there was some news that came out on the stock SGFY. And this stock here is up big in pre-market, ended up dropping off after the open. It was actually a pretty interesting short. We covered that in the phase 2 course just yesterday. But it is to say, though, that the news out on this stock from yesterday was a rumored buyout. Rumored, keyword rumored. Amazon, I think a few different suitors were rumored to have been interested in buying them out. Well, buy the rumor, sell the news, right? This is actually a trade to take. AERI, go back to this. I don't know if this is a rumor. This might just be a straight up official listed buyout here. So I'm going to just jump to the Benzinga Pro newsfeed here. Let's see. All right. So, yep, as I had assumed, this one is an official buyout. AERI now acquired by Alcon for $15.25 per share. So once the buyout's made official, it's really going to flatten out and not really provide that type of trade that you would want up or down. Does nothing. So at this stage, we're going to move on from this AERI. I just had the SGFY from yesterday in mind. Wanted to at least go over that. If it's a rumored buyout, then there's a chance for a pullback, a day trade with that in mind. But once it's official, it's not worth it. All right, AVYA, another stock we had said from this morning, pushed up. It was a cheapie below $1. Now it's testing $1. We'll look to see if this could break higher perhaps over time. What I like about this trade also is that if you look at the daily chart, this has a gap to fill or potentially try and begin to fill. Ended up, moving upwards here heading into the mid-August and then came back down. So whatever news is out on the stock here today, it's up over 26%. It's teasing that run off of $1. So maybe I'll come back to this at the end and put this on our main list. Doesn't hurt us to do that, right? You could say the same on the WINT perhaps, but this one looking a little bit sharper, already over $1. Right now, a couple of orders on the ask for it to break through, but we'll come back to this at the end. My ape trade pulling back slightly. It's still holding over 650, so we'll go back to that at the end. That one's already on our main list, though. Mrin, M-R-I-N. So the news out on this one's not too exciting. So, I mean, to each their own on that, I reckon. But Mrin shares trading higher after the company announced the ability to optimize Snapchat ad campaigns through its Mrin 1 platform. If you're interested in social media and have your ear to the ground on social media, perhaps you know that Snapchat has grown, a little bit year over year, but compared to other social media platforms, I don't think it's going to last long term. I think eventually Snapchat's going to go to crap. And, I think the company, the stock ticker itself is going to completely tank. It already has, to be transparent, breaking, if not all-time lows, then coming right back down towards them. But Mrin, listen, they end up doing some partnership with Snapchat to optimize their ad campaigns. Nice little pop from the after hours there, but it's done nothing since. So, take that for what it's worth. I'm not even as particular about putting this on our main list. I'm sure at some point this could look to make a move, and for that reason, that would be the only reason as to why I would. Let's just keep going down the list. I'll probably slip this on the back end here, the Mrin trade. It's one that we are familiar with, at least, over the years. We ended up trading that stock off of news. We actually have done really well on that Mrin stock in the past. ILAG, we've done really well on too, dating back to the beginning of this month, right around the same time, around August 7th or 8th here. Ended up making a big run for us back then, and right now it's trying to repeat. So ended up making a squeeze after 7 o'clock. This one beginning to show a little bit more of a bounce from support here. So hopefully the wheels keep moving upward on this ILAG trade. I'll put this on our main list here for now. We have the ape trade and we have the ILAG trade so far on our main list. All right, quick reminder, folks, for all of us inside the live trading room, at least later on this morning, coming up at 11 o'clock Eastern time, 11:05 to be exact. We're going to be doing our weekly Traders Talk workshop that's live inside our Cybergroup trading room exclusively. So for all of us on social media, go right to the link on the blue banner below to just sign up for your trial. But for Wendy, Norman, Michael, and all of us there right now, about 100 of us right now inside the live trading room, that'll begin right at 11 o'clock Eastern time, right here. So you don't need to click a link or go anywhere. Just stay right inside the live trading room. I'm of course more so saying that to any of our new trial members joining us over the last week or so. But any questions that anyone has regarding the stocks that we have on our watch list or call outs or what you see on the screen, feel more than free to email me, and we'll look to answer these questions collectively as a team at 11 o'clock this morning. We'll recap a couple of the moves that we'll look to trade here once the market does open up, and we'll go from there. All right, so just want to remind everyone, at least this morning, of Traders Talk. Now, as I've been flapping the gums here, ILAG making an even bigger squeeze, this time popping above the VWAP right from that 350 and beginning to run off it. So, looking pretty good here. Nice. Now, stock not looking as nice. Blue Apron. And yeah, from earlier after 8 o'clock, it ended up making a pretty good run, but this was a choppy trade from yesterday. The after hours here, it ran a lot better than it did from the regular session here. Ran nicely heading into the late morning, early afternoon, but after that point, very staticky, very choppy. It was right near the highs, so it was teasing us, looking for that big squeeze up, and right place, wrong time there. And in the after hours, this thing ended up running. So for right now, yeah, it moved up higher, and it did make a pretty nice initial pop. But history is repeating itself, where this is becoming a very choppy trade once again. So I'd be pretty careful. The reason I have my interest on this stock is, well, not only is it moving upwards still, respect the trend, but it's a pretty heavily shorted stock, if I'm not mistaken. If the stars could align for Blue Apron, it could really explode. It already has really over the last 2 weeks, and we've been spotting that, calling that out. But let me just take a quick look here. Short float percentage on Blue Apron is like over 23%. So that is pretty high. Nearly a quarter of the float is short right now in Blue Apron. Now, what does that mean for stocks like AMC and Bed Bath Beyond, right? So, it's not to say that the more shorted the stock is, it's going to pop. The stars have to align for the pop to begin with. Well, this has already been moving on, lately over the last week and a half, and it's up big again this morning. So just given the uptrend here in pre-market, all right, I'll slip it on our list. But again, though, history could repeat itself with it being choppy if it doesn't make that big pop that you want it to make. And that's not a good sign for the trade afterwards. I meant to click on this one here, WETG, my scanner refreshed there. The wet G trade, we ended up seeing this pop right at 8 o'clock, pretty hopeful for continuation, but obviously that has not happened. So, in terms of just trying to be picky and choosy here, let's just try and skip over that for right now. You could say the same on INDO. Pretty unfortunate because we've done really well on this INDO stock in the past, dating back to the beginning of this year, right? I mean, first ended up popping, heading back into the end of January, early Feb, and then from there, a couple months later or a month and a half later, ended up completely exploding. So this is a real run that we ended up calling out day over day. Listen, we're not trying to swing trade this stock. What goes up comes back down, but this is a stock that you day trade. So, this provided an incredible opportunity across like a week or two's time. Well, from that point came crashing down. We look to see a micro version of that run over time, right? Even if it can get back up to 12 or 15, God bless. So when it ended up popping yesterday, we were hopeful to see this continue. It has, but early in pre-market. Hopefully this makes a better move once the market opens up. But either way, for right now, it's still pretty flat here since 8 o'clock. Just not really showing much in the order book. All right, let's skim down the gainer side here to wrap up because, well, the market's down a little bit. Perhaps there'll be a little bit more of a squeeze lower once the market opens up, then maybe a slingshot from there. But let's see what's on the gainer side to wrap up. We'll jump over to the losers list next. We had the Fubo trade popping earlier, or at least pushing up. I don't want to say popping, but pushing up pretty nicely here, but ended up stalling out. So, it could be one to throw on our list, but I'll pass on it here just for right now. You could say the same on an FFIE. It's up like 4 to 5%, real level one stock here, but it's more hope than anything, right? There's not a whole lot here that's like making me too interested, just aside from the volume traded collectively, and it's up 4 to 5%. But you could say the same on a lot of these stocks that are on the gainer side. So, that's where I say for stocks like APE, ILAG, and even Blue Apron, those at least will put a lot more of a spotlight on once the market opens up. All right, so we jump over to the loser side here. ASRT, it's not doing a whole lot right now. It is shortable and it is down big, trading a lot of volume. Spread's great. Big iceberg order on the ask actually there, acting as resistance. But direction is bad here since 8 o'clock. So it's more of a hope that this continues to drop and could be a good short. But again, not really a great need to put that on our main list. This has better direction. I mean, the Zoom trade coming off bad earnings from yesterday, right? There's a few headlines out with their conference call after, but we ended up seeing them get crushed in the after hours. They're showing a drop off here after 8 o'clock, steady downtrend off the highs at least. Hopefully the order book fills in a lot more on this trade. I'm not as particular about the more expensive stocks as much as I am not particular about the stocks below $1. But Zoom here, I'll put on our main list. Hopefully the order book fills in a lot more as this continues to drop off in price. All right, what else do we have here, folks? What else we got? Scanner just reloaded again on me there. Twitter down about 3.6% right now. I knew there was some headline that came out, Jack Dorsey and Elon, something going on there. So it led to a drop off early in pre-market. A little flat for right now, but it is trading a lot of volume, very active stock. You could easily hear me call this out once the market opens up. But for right now, I'll keep this on our side list. Twitter, and write this down at least on my notepad. All right, folks, what do you have for me? Anything else up, down, left, right, more than 5% that would look good here heading into the market open? For all of us on social media, I believe this is the last morning that you got me. You got Fausto back in his seat tomorrow morning, or at least for the morning meeting. I was talking to him this morning early, so if I'm not mistaken, he'll be back to do the morning meeting for you folks tomorrow morning. I know he's looking forward to getting back into trading here. He's finishing up with the great Tom Busby and DTI with their on-site course in Orlando, I believe. All right, folks, I'm checking Benzinga right now. Not a whole lot out there, so I don't see any chat otherwise for all of us on YouTube. I had a couple of call-outs from us inside the live trading room, but we already went over those at least before, just as we were scanning through. I'll tell you what, just, hey, early this morning in pre-market at 8 o'clock, I took one look at my scanner, and I was like, there's not a whole lot out there. A couple moves early after 7 o'clock that ran, but if my broker allows me to begin to trade pre-market at 8 o'clock, I can't trade those stocks that are moving at 7, right? So at 8 o'clock, there wasn't really a whole lot out there. I was like, all right, this might not be, like the greatest day out there, day trade. I'll tell you what, between APE and now, we'll jump back to AMC because, really, we didn't really build up too big of a list. So I don't mind slipping AMC back on the main list here at this point in hopes of, the Wall Street bets people out there, the memesters out there. If anyone's looking to run up a stock, it could be them. So between APE still holding strong and, AMC ended up making a little move up earlier today too. I'm going to put the AMC trade on our list. That and the APE look pretty strong. Karen asking about Bed Bath Beyond, which, I should certainly look at. Bed Bath Beyond, meme stock. But, the last week and a half has done incredible for us as a long, and God bless if you're able to short this stock as it tanked. But, what goes up comes back down. This could look to go with the others, right? And we ended up doing really well on both AMC and Bed Bath Beyond yesterday. Doesn't hurt us to put Bed Bath Beyond back on our list. So I'll do that. Ape just popped. Nice little move up. I'm still on half my position right now. I told you before I ended up closing half my position out at 665. I'm in from 633. I will look to cover that move in full in our Traders Talk workshop. All right. So again, for all of us on social media, Facebook Live, YouTube, if you're looking to join us inside our live trading room, just go right down to the link on the blue banner below. We do live audio commentary from 9:30 to 10:30 Eastern every day, then from 3 to 4 p.m. daily as well. And again, this morning at 11 o'clock, we'll be doing our weekly Traders Talk workshop there. Any questions that you folks have for all of us inside the live trading room, just email me, that being josh@ctutrading.com. The same to be said for all of us on social media. Just any questions you folks have, especially if you're looking to join for this morning's workshop, just send over a quick email and we'll look to cover it right at the top of 11 o'clock this morning. All right, folks, I look forward to it and got to refill up the water bottle before the market opens up. Best of luck trading here heading into the market open, folks. Talk to you soon.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.